Like with any software program, setup is very important in myServiceScheduler. I'm going to show you a sample myServiceScheduler that is already set up and show you how to set up yours. This may be done from a mobile device or a desktop or laptop computer. In this case, I'm going to use a desktop computer so things are easier to demonstrate. The first thing you want to do is open a browser and go to the MyServiceForce Business Center at www.myserviceforce.com. Click Login. Of course, on the login page, you enter your username or email and password. This email address or username is the email address you use to log into myServiceJobs, and then of course enter your password. Once you've entered your username and password, click Login. Now you're logged into the myServiceForce Business Center. Scroll down a little bit, look for myServiceScheduler, and then click Sign In. On this next screen, you're confirming you're logging into myServiceScheduler. Click Sign In. And now you're logged in or signed in to myServiceScheduler. By default, you're going to see the appointment request screen. Notice there are other tabs across the top here. We're going to focus on the Settings tab. I'll just point out one thing though. At this point, since you will not have entered any settings, if you click on the calendar icon, you may see a page with an error, or you may get a pop-up message that says something that directs you to the settings page. So we can't display the calendar yet because we haven't put in any settings. So we're doing the settings. I'll click on the Settings tab. And you'll see I have a few buttons here, 5 different buttons. We're going to work from the top down and start with company information. This will be empty for you. In my case, I've put in some information. So for company name, obviously your company or whatever you want to appear there. Enter your address information, your phone number, fax number if you have it, your email address, and some of these other parameters, some other things. If you want to put your website, I'd suggest you do that. Put your website in here. If you have a Facebook page or a Twitter handle, put that in here. And if you want to upload your company logo, you can do that here as well. And then click Upload. That would upload the logo. After you enter your information, click on Save. You'll get some sort of confirmation message that will pop up saying the data has been saved successfully. So you click OK. Now notice all those buttons we had before, they went away, and now the contents of those buttons are across the top here. So the second button was Blocks and Availability. When you come to Blocks and Availability for the first time, you're not going to see all this information. You'll just see the days, and none of them will have check marks in, and you'll see Start a Day and the block size, and you'll have a button that says Create Blocks. You're not going to see this other stuff just yet. So you would just select what days you want to accept appointment requests and what time slots. So I've chosen Monday through Friday, and I do my work between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and I like to schedule in 4-hour blocks. So again, you would set that information, click Create Blocks, and then you'll see something like this down here, your time blocks, and your resources would say 0, 0, and 0. I am going to, or I have chosen that I will accept 3 requests for 8 to 12, 3 requests for 12 to 4, and 1 request from 4 to 6. That may not make sense for you. You can put in whatever you want. You can change these at any time. Just come in here, change them, and click on Save. Now let's say I want to change my schedule once everything is set up. Maybe I only want to accept appointments Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for some reason, and I'm shortening those work days from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'll still keep the 4-hour blocks, and I'll click Reset Blocks. Okay, now it's automatically calculated those blocks, 8 a.m. to 12, 12 to 4, and I only want to accept 2 requests for each time slot. Click on Save. I get the pop-up saying my data has been saved. Click OK, and we're all set up here. I'll leave it as is for now, and next I'm going to go to appointment types. So these are the types of services that you do, or the types of appointment requests you want customers to make. You may only have one. You need at least one. The way you add one is, obviously, click on Add. Type in the service type you want, and click on Save. I'll cancel in this case since I already have to. If you ever want to edit a service type, click on Edit, edit it, click on Save, and that will save the changes. This one's pretty straightforward. Next is customer communications. This is how you're going to stay in touch with your customer in the automated ways that myServiceScheduler allows. So we have text messaging and email. Text messaging, there's no charge to you for that. And you can send out acknowledgments. So when someone requests an appointment, this acknowledgement will go out to their mobile number saying, hey, we've received your appointment. Actually, it's going to respond with whatever text you have here. You want to keep this fairly to the point. In this case, we have your appointment request for. Now it's going to automatically keep the date and the time. So you want to keep this as is. The date with the brackets around it, time with brackets around it. But if you want to customize this, you can do that. Maybe put in your company name or something like that. Yeah, feel free to go ahead and do that. The confirmation is going to be when you accept their appointment request. So they submit a request, you accept the request, they would also get a confirmation text message, and you can adjust this as needed, just like with the acknowledgement. Again, you want to keep this relatively brief, and you want to make sure to keep date and time there, and each of those surrounded by the brackets. The email communications, same thing. You have your acknowledgement, you have your confirmation, and you can customize this text however you want it. With these emails, you want to put in the email address you want the customer to see when they receive an email. So who's it from? Well, put in your company email address here. And CC, maybe you want copies of these email requests going to another email address. Just go ahead and put that email address in here also. The BCC, you can send a blind copy if you'd like to also. When you make any changes here, click on Save. One last thing I'll point out here about the customer communications is the text messages. The number that it comes from, it won't be a mobile number. It'll just be something that the customers cannot reply to, so they're not going to see your mobile number or anything like that. Finally, let's look at calendar customization. So you're going to customize the calendar that your customers are going to see. First, I'll point out the customer calendar link. This is the link that your customers are going to use. Oh, that's a long link. They're not going to type that in. So you would want to put this on your website. This is where your website would link to. Or if you send out emails, you can put this link on emails that go out, and your customers can click on that. But regardless, we're going to customize the calendar that your customers are going to see. Now let me go ahead and open this calendar up in another tab. You can right-click on the link, and depending on your browser, you may see something slightly different. Click Open Link in New Tab, and now I have that calendar open in another tab. So this is what we're customizing. I already have a header up here along with a logo. This would be your company logo. And I'm going to show you how to change the logos, the header text, and the footer text. I'll switch back over to the other tab here, and I can put graphics in the top left corner of the screen, in the middle, the top middle of the screen, or the top right. I've already uploaded the middle graphic, and let me go ahead and show you the upload process for any of the graphics here. It's the same. Click on Choose File, navigate on your hard drive to where the file is you want to use. You want a standard file like a PNG, JPEG, things like that. Select the file, click Open. You'll see the file name right here, and then the last critical step here is to upload the logo. So click on Upload. That will upload your logo. It's automatically going to save the logo. Now, I'll go back over here. I'll refresh my screen, and there's the logo in the top left corner. The other logo we could put in here is in the top right corner, and you can change these logos at any time. Maybe you want to put some sort of advertisement up here that you're running a special, maybe a holiday greeting. You can really do anything you want with these logos. Just remember where you upload them. I'm going to scroll down a little more here. Here's the calendar header text, the calendar footer text. I'm just keeping it nice and simple here. This is the header text. Same thing for the footer. This is the footer text. I'll point out you have all different sorts of controls here, just like you would on a standard word processor. So play around with what you want, decide what you want in your header. You can adjust it accordingly. So as you make changes, click on Save. Let's go ahead and make one change. Maybe I want a little bit of space between my logo and the header. That's fine. Easy change to do. And let's go ahead and change the color of header to something like this. I'll save it. Data has been saved. Go back over here to the calendar icon or the calendar tab. Refresh that. I like that space a little better. I don't necessarily like that color. You can play around, add some more text down here, maybe in a smaller font. You kind of get the idea. That's how to set up myServiceScheduler. If you have any questions, feel free to chat with us online at www.myserviceforce.com or email us at support@myserviceforce.com.